What's up, superfans? It is Fit Nerd from Superheroes Ultimate. Welcome to another episode of Heroes Finest. And today we have Alex, the fan fanatic, joining us to talk about everything Star Wars. What's up, Alex?
What's up? How you doing?
Force has been strong with all of us lately.
Super happy to be here. I know we got a lot to talk about.
About what, 10 different shows and movies?
Like 30 by now. For real, I feel like every week we're getting like, hey, guess what? This is what's coming in 2021. We're getting 2022.
I'm super excited over Ahsoka. I don't know about which one you're most excited about, but Acolyte and Ahsoka are my top tier choices that I'm excited for.
After watching the season finale, I am super excited for season 3 of The Mandalorian. Excited for some news, and we'll get to that about a certain bounty hunter getting his own series. Boba
Fett got his own solo series coming up, which is called The Book of Boba Fett. If you guys haven't seen the last episode of The Mandalorian, or even previous episodes, actually, about 3 episodes back from the season finale, we will be disclosing quite a bit of awesomeness. But by now, everyone should have seen all of The Mandalorian and the season finale, which we will go through some of the comments of some of the feels from other Star Wars fans.
Overall, what do you think of the series, the finale, the entire second season?
I feel like the entire second season, they stepped it up 10 times fold. Every episode kind of felt like a mini movie.
I 100% agree with that. I seriously always loved watching like Star Wars. I had like the VHSs that I would watch like every year and making sure they're in good condition because they were like in a collector box. I also loved Westerns, and that's really what this series has been since like its inception of, Jon Favreau bringing in, characters we really don't know much about and kind of giving this whole gunslinger impression. This Lone Ranger, essentially, who picks up a job, has an attachment to the person he's with, and takes that steps above what it really should be in the Star Wars universe. And I'm super glad that Jon Favreau is attached to this project. Obviously he's the one who started the whole Iron Man Marvel game, and now he brought the same energy to the Mandalorian. And I got a little emotional toward the end of the episode,
saying goodbye to Grogu, kind of, because it leaves it kind of open-ended. I mean, it's almost like we just invested 2 seasons on this tiny little green child and this Tin Man. Which is, by the way, many props to Jon Favreau in taking a character that's basically made out of metal and making it into an entire cinematic universe. Because if it wasn't for Jon Favreau, we wouldn't have Iron Man and then the MCU, and now we have Mandalorian and the entire Star Wars universe.
He likes can openers. I think he just likes can openers. He's really good with people who are stuck in a metal tin can. Basically, you said he just opens up an entire universe. How could you that's another thing, like exactly my point. You fall in love with a character that for about majority of the series does not reveal his face. You don't see anything, any emotions, and it's really expressive through the mouth, through his voice, through his subtle movements, that you really get an understanding of the character and who he is, and kind of just the interactions he has with different characters. Din Djarin, basically him and his crew have basically created a rescue attempt. If anyone doesn't know, basically the setup is that Din Djarin has been looking for someone to take and train the child, now also known as Grogu, also known as Baby Yoda. And there is a few episodes back, he brings him to this mystical rock. Essentially, it's a sacred temple rock kind of thing. Sends a signal out to the universe to connect to any Jedis in the universe. This time frame is right around the end of the Return of the Jedi. Between that and the first new movie in the series was recent. Oh my god, I'm blanking on the name.
This is all based off of right at the end of Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. So there's about 20-40 years. For us, it's technically 40 years.
Yeah, no, it's 40 years to find out what happened the day after. I burned my father yesterday. What did you having today? Oh, I rescued a Baby Yoda.
It could be his illegitimate son.
Could be.
Well, Grogu was one of the Padawans during Order 66. So
Right.
there's a good chance that if we, in that scene where he saw R2-D2 and R2-D2 got excited over seeing Grogu, is that he knew Grogu from back in the day when Anakin was roaming around the temple.
Maybe he's the one who saved him.
Correct. That may be a strong possibility, because there seems to be some history between R2-D2 and Grogu.
Wouldn't it be like kind of actually interesting if they just so like I know that there's the droids TV show coming out on their slate. Wouldn't it be kind of interesting if they showed like a droid kind of save Baby Yoda, and that was like that's what ties into the current like timeline, and that Baby Yoda was saved by a droid, but that is shown in the droids TV show, and that's what connects to like the bigger universe, is like all these exploits of like droids throughout. I don't know what the droid show is honestly going to be about too much, but obviously droids. But
I mean, it could just be about the day in the life of a droid.
The day do droids fall in love?
Like you said, this is one of the things that's really, really rekindled a lot of Star Wars fans, even rekindled my Star Wars fandom, because after the last movies of what happened to Luke and just make him this old, it was kind of like a really big missed opportunity to see an old Jedi Master Luke Skywalker, and we never got to see that. We just got to see an old Jedi bum drinking, out of an alien booby.
No judging there. Okay, people drink blue booby juice all the time.
I mean, I would drink blue booby juice. And nothing against the fans that actually do like the new trilogy, which brought in a new generation of Star Wars fans, of reuniting old school Star Wars fans. May them be happy with them or not. I mean, it did have its merits, but that was one of the things that could have been done better. And I feel like the Mandalorian finally came back, and they gave us that one scene like in Rogue One with Darth Vader. He's back in the picture. Will he be showing up in a new show somewhere, or will he have a show of his own? We don't know. Is it gonna be a Grogu and Luke Skywalker show now?
The child, I mean, I know that everyone loves Baby Yoda, and I know that but you can't really base an entire show. You could on Baby Yoda, honestly. Like that is how the marketing works. The Mandalorian has to revolve around the Mandalorian. It doesn't, you can't just say like, okay, well, there's this cute little baby Yoda, and that's what the whole story's about. It's like, no, this is the motivation of the character motivation. So we have the motivation being get this child to safety. That was basically what this whole journey up to the first two seasons are. Really, do you feel like, and I'm sure like there's a lot of people who would definitely agree with this, would you, like, if you were watching the third season, I'm pretty certain a lot of people would be fine watching another season of running around trying to find a safe, and again, if they didn't have Luke show up, a safe place for Baby Yoda, but that doesn't advance the story. That doesn't really do anything for the story. Right now, you kind of have really great character development on a lot of different characters that are entered into the story. You have the return of Boba Fett. You have Cara Dune, which she's getting her own series right there too. Everyone essentially is going their separate ways, and that's how I feel like they're going to do. Their Mandalorian is going to kind of do his own lone quest, but now it's going to be all about actually reclaiming Mandor, kind of going back to, is this something he wants to do? Because now he is in possession of the Darksaber, which is also, by the way, a very expensive prop replica if you're going to buy it. It is
just announced by Hasbro Pulse. It's a 1-to-1 replica of the Darksaber. It is going to be available.
Also, I like to eat food and live under a roof. So just throwing that out there to people. Yeah, I mean, like there's this like conflict that just was created. It's like between Din Djarin and Bo-Katan, which I think is where they're heading. I think that's what we're gonna do. Everyone's gonna go their separate ways and have their own spin-off series. And I think what's gonna happen is there's going to be a point where Baby Yoda gets in trouble again. Maybe Luke is starting to go to his planet that we saw in The Last Jedi, or starting to travel and do things, and Baby Yoda kind of gets stuck on his own, and needs help again and reaches out to the Mandalorian, and that's what's going to reunite everyone. It's kind of going to be like an Avengers kind of assemble kind of feeling, like everyone went their own way, but oh no, Baby Yoda's in trouble again. We got to get the gang back together, and all those faces come back, and they're gonna kind of regroup and fight whatever new threat is out there. I think an Admiral Thrawn tie-in to what brings everyone together, and actually really kind of an interesting thought. There's a couple of actors I would love to see kind of play in this role, and one actually is Benedict Cumberbatch, which I feel like his, like, just in general, his personality, his voice, his demeanor he brings to certain characters, I just feel like might be a really good choice if they were going to cast him. I don't know if that's a possibility.
I mean, I would have to just add to that theory and completely agree with you, because he's already shown that he has he can be very diverse on different roles. Nobody really even remembers that Benedict Cumberbatch is the Grinch.
Yeah, he's the Grinch.
He's the Grinch, and people don't even assume that, like, he's Doctor Strange. And
more than that, John, he's Khan. He plays a very confident, powerful character in Star Trek. Remember that Into Darkness, he played.
That's right.
Khan. And I mean, if you look at that, and you should basically, I mean, like, I think he has the acting chops for it. Just like, this is a bit of random thing too, but I know it's been a fan request for a long time. But even with like Luke being back here, some people are kind of asking for Sebastian Stan, who plays the Winter Soldier in Marvel movies.
So here we have Sebastian Stan with some cool fan art made by Boss Logic himself, which has already worked with Marvel. He's worked with DC. He's done some amazing work already with them fan-wise, and then his biggest work was actually brought by the Russo brothers, because the Russo brothers saw some fan art that he made for Avengers Endgame, and they hired him. So ever since that, he's just been blowing up all over the place and making some extremely, really spot-on work. And I could totally see this being a real poster eventually down the line with Luke Skywalker.
Absolutely amazing. And I actually found an article that mentioned actually that Mark Hamill had given essentially his blessing. So yeah, back in 2017, Rhode Island Comic-Con, Stan expressed interest in playing the role in a video that quickly went viral. Of course, one would think that Hamill might want to give his own approval when it comes to someone else taking over the iconic role in some capacity, and he technically did, making a tweet that joked, "Sorry to disappoint you, but I refuse to say Sebastian Stan, I am your father, even though in fact I am." End quote. Yes, even Mark Hamill wants to see Sebastian Stan as Luke Skywalker, and that's a pretty big endorsement. On to, I forgot the actor who body motioned him, but basically it looked like it was Mark Hamill. Like, it didn't look, and that last sequence was awesome. I actually was comparing it to Rogue One, when Darth Vader cut through the door, and it's almost like exactly almost the same kind of angles that we used too. You just see like the lightsaber cutting down back and forth, and even with like the black cape cloak that he's wearing, it's very, very reminiscent. Maybe that was the intention, to kind of say like, yeah, we're paralleling this with Darth Vader when he cut through that entrance scene and kind of got to the door and saved them, and this is like their version of it. I mean, it was totally a father son moment. Except on the light side of the Force and at the dark side of the Force. Where The Mandalorian is going is great. They have all these different projects. So you got Ahsoka coming out. You got with Rosario Dawson. You have Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett, which was teased at the end, where he essentially walks into where Return of the Jedi took place in the beginning, where Jabba the Hutt is located on Tatooine, and essentially kills everyone and sits on the throne, and then all you see is the Book of Boba Fett coming 2020. Andor, which is literally right from Rogue One. So they actually did a whole spin-off of Rogue One, the movie, with Andor. That's awesome. I can't wait to see that. Of course, everything here is on Disney Plus, so definitely get your subscription to watch this stuff. 2021 is going to be an amazing year in terms of entertainment. Let's look through some of the comments and some feedback from the other Star Wars fans on a post